I love to empower people, to give them the power and authority to do something. Well, really, we're just putting up a mirror to show them that they already have it within themselves to do and
Yeah.
accomplish.
Welcome to a special bonus episode of the Empowering Women podcast. Today, we are shining a spotlight on something I am incredibly excited about: the inaugural Empowering Women Carolinas Conference happening on July 9th in Greenville, South Carolina. If you've ever wished for a place where you could learn, grow, connect, and be surrounded by people who genuinely want to see you succeed, this is a conversation for you. I'm joined by Empowering Women in Industry founder Charli Matthews Carruth for a fun and inspiring discussion about community, leadership, and the power of bringing women together. So, whether you're already registered or you're still deciding, pull up a chair and join us for this special episode of the Empowering Women podcast. Welcome back, everyone, to the Empowering Women podcast. And today we're doing something just a little bit different and a lot of fun. You guys are going to love this conversation. In just a few weeks, women from across manufacturing, engineering, construction, energy, and industry, we're going to be gathering for the very first Empowering Women Carolinas Conference. And who better to give us a behind the scenes look than the woman who started it all? So joining me today, and I'm so excited, is Charli Carruth. She is the founder of Empowering Women in Industry. She is an absolute champion for women in manufacturing and is a driving force behind an inspiring community that's connected thousands of women across the country. So we're going to be talking about the vision behind the conference, the power of community, and why now is the perfect time for women to invest in themselves and each other. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Charli, it's good to see you, and welcome back to your podcast.
Oh, I love it. I love being here. I'm so excited. I have just all the feels right now. I need that kind of intro every day, right? To just kind of remind us what we've done, what we've created, and what we're a
Yeah.
part of. So, Shannon, thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah. This has been, I know for the podcast for me, it's been 6 seasons. How many years of Empowering Women in Industry been an organization? Remind me.
Yeah, it's eight,
Eight
going on eight
years.
this year.
Yep. Yeah. And it grew from an idea into this thriving 8-year-old community. Well, can you remember the moment you realized women in industry needed a space that you've created?
Yeah, I was torn on this a little bit. I was thinking about it, and I kind of have two answers. One, I was actually with another woman at an event, and she was taking me around and she was showing me and introducing me to women because she knew my heart for women in industry. And so I thought, okay, maybe there's 5 women here. And it turns out there's 20 women in this space. And I was just blown away by that because I didn't see them. They were there, they were working, they were in industry, but no one could really see them. And so I created a LinkedIn group. This is the other one that really was a moment, I guess. When you create something like that from scratch and see it go from 0 to 500 overnight, you're like, okay, there's a need for this. It's not just me. I definitely needed it for me. I needed a role model, right? A mom in the C-suite. Like, I need some help here, some direction.
Mm,
Somebody to say, like, am I doing this right? What do you think? Just those simple things,
yeah.
having a woman that can relate to the work that you're doing. That's really when it started.
I think it's so funny. I've heard this from other female founders. They created the thing they needed for themselves, and then it hit a nerve with other people and it exploded. I've heard that multiple times.
Well, yeah, then that this is pain to purpose, right? You needed it,
Yeah.
somebody else needs it, and then that drives you.
Yep. Well, I've met thousands of women through you, and you've met thousands of women and connected them in this community. So, based on your travels, because you do a lot of, I'll call it site visits, which I love your pictures, by the way. What do you think women in industry are craving right now that they're not finding in their organizations?
Yeah, well, I think it's different for everybody, but I think it's that connection. I
Mm,
remember going to my very first event. It was Women in Reliability, and you just found your people. It was like, oh, they get what I'm doing every day. They understand my work. And so if you are one of the onlys or just a few women in your organization and you don't have somebody that you're working with on a regular basis, you do miss that connection with women, how to interact with women, that feminine energy of encouragement and excitement that goes on. And so I believe that people are still missing that they're missing just community with women, and that is what drives them to
Mm.
come to our conferences, for one. And then what's the resources? What is it that we don't know? What are the skills that will help us level up, like access to the steps to level up and whatever our career is, whatever the goals are, life or career, it's both, right?
Yeah.
How we
Yep.
can just have a better, life, really.
Yeah, it's interesting because you and I had a quick chat before we turned on the mic, and I was thinking about it. I think advocacy is one I've seen. So building yourself to have maybe a sponsor in the formal sense, because I don't, especially if you work in larger organizations, you don't get that lateral move or maybe that project assignment without that advocate. But I think it's also learning to advocate for yourself, whether it be in a performance review or asking for that assignment that you're looking for, or asking for that mentor. I see technical women, they're hesitant, right? They're like, well, I probably shouldn't do that, or that feels a little too risky to me. Like that's
For
one
sure. I
area.
mean, it's getting ourselves out of our own way so many
Yeah,
times. And
that's so
and
true.
put up like one of the things I say is I just, I love to empower people to give them the power and authority to do something. Well, really, we're just putting up a mirror to show them that they already have it within themselves to do and
Yeah.
accomplish. But we do need an advocate. We need to advocate for ourselves, just like in health.
Mm,
Everybody is different. Everybody has different life experiences. But along the way, you need somebody to be that supporter and encourager and see what you can't see yet. And that is so
mm,
clear in all of us. And I can say that about Shannon while I have her here too. Shannon, I remember watching her speak on our very first stage in Chicago.
mm.
And, from then to now, I mean, it's a transformation on all of us, right? I can
Yeah.
remember me there too. But, the power of yes and saying yes every time to step into that,
Mm.
that takes a little nudge from a friend, a safe space to help you do it. And look at you now saying yes to the
Well, I'd
podcast.
love to tell that story, Charlie. The audience is probably tired of hearing it, but I'll never forget getting that email from you and thinking, man, is she like having margaritas or something in Alabama? Because she has lost her mind. Podcast, is she crazy? I can't do a podcast. And I literally shut the email down. I'm like, she's losing it. I'll talk to her later. And I opened it multiple times, and like the idea had to grow on me. It's really funny how people can see things in you that you can't see in yourself.
Well, yeah, and there's such a technical side to the podcast too, and your background in engineering. There's pieces, and there are people that come into our lives that can kind of see those pieces and connect.
Yep.
I,
Yep.
I always say I'm the connect part of my business. I'm a super connector, both
You
with people
are.
and like seeing the skills and the talents and the gifts. So thank you for saying yes, Shannon.
Well, as someone who's built multiple businesses and communities, what's a leadership lesson you've learned the hard way that you wish more women knew earlier in their careers?
Yes, this one hits hard. I think it's constantly learn this. But what I want to share is just that, there is a balance when you're deciding what you want to do. And if you're not letting the pressures of whether it's work or family or friends direct your steps, then you will be able to do so much more. I think about all of the tasks when I was a young mom. I say mom a lot because I launched my business when I had my youngest daughter was 9. Let's see. And then 3 years up from that, I had two other sons. And so I had three under the age of 6, I believe, 6 or 7.
Mm,
And, going into that, it feels overwhelming. Well, I mean, I'm sure it was at times overwhelming, but of all the things that I could do, the one thing that would trip me up is I missed something. I didn't
mm,
drop my kid off or I didn't go to that meeting. Even if I didn't really want to be there, I would still like the pressure of all of that would come on,
mm,
and judging self. And so it's amazing how much you can do. And the things that community offers for help was the other
mm.
thing. They would say, "Hey, do you want me to take so and so, one of my kids somewhere?" And I'd be like,
Yeah.
"No, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got
I got
everything."
this, right?
No, like allow people to help you, right? Allow people to
Yeah.
use their gifts, and support you. And so I think that that is the biggest, part is just don't, create your career and your life based on what everybody else is telling you to do. Really, you got to
Mm,
have time to sit and figure out what it is that you actually want to do, which Shannon, I love it. Figuring out what your strengths are, your core values, and moving forward, in what you want your life to look like.
yeah.
That, man, you can do a lot of stuff when you don't have
Yeah, I
that
think and it's
pressure.
also being still enough to hear the voice when you hit on something that you want to do. And it might be tiny. Like maybe you lead a group one day and you're like, I really like this whole speaker thing. Maybe I should try it, right? Like, but it's being still enough and knowing yourself enough to hear that voice.
We don't have time to critically think. I've talked to people about this, in industry. Think about all of the machines that we use today that somebody sat around and came up with. This is the way this is going to work. We've got to create time to spend on just thinking, and our leaders need that. And so with that comes these kind of profound moments, right, where they're leading or directing our steps. So
Mm,
I do believe that connection and direction is keeps coming up for me. I think it's really
mm.
important.
It's funny you say that because I had some of that this week, though. This week is stretching me in different ways, and I started feeling guilty for, oh, I hadn't gotten to that yet or that yet. So I think that's almost like you got to keep relearning it.
Yeah, it's self pressure we're putting on ourselves that is heavy. And if I could, that's the, I guess, lesson I would just
Yeah.
really kind of write it down what you're trying to accomplish, because I can tell you I was really smart back then. I look at my journals that I used to write in and I'm like, I already knew that. I forgot that, right? So writing it down and revisiting, what it is that you're wanting to do and
Mm,
accomplish.
it's interesting. I need a journal. That's something I've never been able to sit and do. I'm not, that's the math brain. The math brain doesn't want to write. So there you go.
You're gonna have to speak it out, we got all
Yeah.
kinds of tools now.
Yeah. So you spent many years connecting women across industry. What's one thing or a few things you've learned about people that's fundamentally changed the way you lead?
Everybody is different. Men and
Mm,
women are different. We're all different. We're equally valuable. We
right.
all have different goals, and sometimes our leadership wants to lead and wants people to, you know, follow a certain path, one that they've created for them that maybe they don't want. And so there, I think the communication piece of that, you have to talk to your employees. You have to make space for them to disappoint you, to move on, to change, to train,
Mm,
all these things so that you can understand who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. And that's, I think, the biggest leadership challenge, leading yourself, for one. Like, what is
mm.
it? What are your goals? And that as a leader, we have to know that. And then creating the space, for your employees to talk to you.
Yeah, I love that you say leaving the space for people to disappoint you because nobody's perfect. People are going to disappoint you, and it's learning to accept somebody for who they are and loving them
Yeah.
anyway and
Yeah, you
wanting
have to
to
have that.
partner or support them anyway.
Yeah, we have to respect everyone in the workforce. I think that that's the big, difference, I think, in just going into industry and all of the different facets. I don't do the same work as, like my plant tours I go through. I love going there. I have such a respect for that work. I don't do that every day. And so it excites me and challenges me. And I also see, people differently, what their job is and what they, what excites them in their work that maybe wouldn't me, because I don't work in that area. And so
Right.
that part is just beautiful. So I guess people are different. Don't try to put
Yep.
your leadership style on somebody
Mm.
else. Um, and get to know your employees on a personal basis.
Yeah, my favorite one related to that is be curious, ask questions about people. I mean, I think most people like to talk about themselves. So ask questions and learn. Even if you hear something that kind of concerns you, I promise you that you're going to learn something along the way.
Yeah, listening to while other people talk. Woo! That one's difficult. I know. I'm a talker, but I'm I'm thinking of my husband right now, when our first date, and I know I was talking, but he was talking because he's very quiet before that. And I was like, man, I didn't know he could talk that much. But I also was talking, but he was listening to me and I was listening to him. And so it was
Mm.
beautiful, that you can both have the space to have conversation, right? It's not going to be one-sided if you listen more. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's a little shout out to Alan there.
Aw. I look forward to meeting him. I've not met him yet. So we're gonna get into, let's talk about the conference. I know we're both excited. It is in my back door almost, so I'm super excited to be there. You hosted successful events in other regions. So what made you decide it was time to bring the empowering women energy to Greenville, South Carolina?
Well, I love the Carolinas. It is a beautiful place. I took my honeymoon there and I went back to Greenville, and it was time. But I got my confirmation, when one of the ladies in our community, Kellen, came to our Tuscaloosa event. And I just reminded me, because I'd already told you and Jennifer that I wanted to come to the Carolinas. And I saw her and she's from the Carolinas, and I just was like, it is time. Like, there are amazing women in our community that live there. You, for one, like, where's Shannon? Let me go towards Shannon. But also, people who have been part of our community for a while, from the beginning. The women that are part of, Ops Challenge, they were Charlie's Angels, and they have other
Hmm.
other names now, and they're all doing different things, but they have been part of our community, and the inspiration behind us, these operators who don't have the right gloves or the right,
Yeah.
workwear to be effective, the sponsorship even that they have to get to compete in that on a regular basis.
Mm.
There's so much there that drives me for helping women in industry. And so they're just down the street, and their allies that support them are down the street. And so I know that there is a strong community there. It exists already.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to give some love to them. I mean, that's really it. I wanted to
Yeah,
be around them.
Greenville is actually a hotbed of tech and industry on the East Coast, believe it or not. I don't, little bitty Greenville, South Carolina, people wouldn't think that, but it really is.
Yeah, so everywhere from, I mean, I know that we have the pump industry, right? That's my background, right there in Charlotte. And um, we just haven't been there in a while, right?
Yeah,
Physically there. And so just connecting with them in the industry, um, yeah, and it's beautiful, and
it is
it
beautiful.
inspires me. The season, right, going in the summer, it gives us an opportunity to do something with family and work. I encourage everybody to do that. To
Mm.
You got to see something while you're there. You got to take a
Yeah.
walk, and um, there's a lot of places there to do that are really quick, right? Even if you just drove downtown, they have a beautiful little
Yeah,
falls
they
there
do.
that, and so there's a lot that brings us to Greenville. It's a happy place. It's a spot for me to kind of redo some things in that city and bring a new vision there, for me. And they are working for women in industry, women in business. They already have this movement within their space. The
Mm.
more that I talk to the women there and the leaders there, they're already doing it. And so they just need that support. And that's what we're here for. We're here to support those women leaders out there, to take it to the next level, to give them the support that they need, right? Because when we're
Yeah.
building these and creating these spaces, that's also difficult to keep your energy in the right space. So we have to be there for
Yeah.
our leaders.
Yeah. I will say, if you've never been to the BMW plant, it is not that far of a drive from Greenville. It's in Spartanburg. It is amazing. They do tours all day long. So if you're a manufacturing tour nerd like me, I'd put that on the list if you're coming to the conference.
Oh, there you go. That's on
Yeah.
our list, right? That's what we need to do. I've definitely seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It's amazing.
Well, so many things there in Greenville. To hear you speak, to meet you in person, people, y'all,
Yeah.
hey fans, come meet Shannon.
We'll
I'm
be there.
excited.
We're going to do a little meet and greet. It's going to be fun. I can't
Yeah,
wait to meet listeners in person. So, if you've ever done a podcast, you feel like you're talking into airspace. And so it's going to be nice to actually meet humans that you're talking to, but don't realize it.
yes, and I'm excited for them to get to know you too. They that The space is beautiful for one, so that's always I guess a bonus when we get to kind of connect in a beautiful space too. But the women that are speakers, they're amazing. Like the level
Yep.
of content and just energy that they have. I'm really excited about them too. So yeah, I mean, what more can I say about the Carolinas?
Well, I know you've been doing the annual conference for 7 to 8 years now. When women attend that or some of the local conferences you've done, what outcome you think surprises them the most that you've heard?
Well, I hear a lot the feeling, right? The feeling that they
Mm,
get about being surrounded and the energy that's created in there. And I hope that that is always present. That's a number one goal of mine, right? That empowering energy of being around the sisterhood, but also just the network. These are powerful women out there in industry that they're connecting with. And so I believe um, it's those people coming together that creates that momentum for everyone to kind of
mm.
be inspired. Okay, and then they have to go and do the real work after they leave, right? There's a part of that like that gets you encouraged.
Yeah.
You take tons of notes and you go back, okay, how do I apply this? But you're not leaving alone anymore, right? You have a whole community, a whole
Hmm.
network of resources. But I want to throw that back to you, Shannon. But you've been to our events many times. Like
I have.
what is it that you get? I mean, what keeps you coming back?
I think I've been to my fair share number of conferences, and I'm not just saying this because Charlie's on the phone or on the mic. It is the one place where you feel like you truly belong. Like if you're a newcomer or you're a seasoned attendee, you always feel welcome. And I think when you go to other conferences, you feel a little awkward. People maybe aren't as inviting. They don't mean to be, but they're just sort of focused on their own experience. And this community is the complete opposite. I know we've had like little first attendee mixers before, but people just come up and say, "Hi, I've not seen you at a conference before," and they're just more friendly and create that sense of you matter and you belong. That's what I've always taken away from conference one.
Yeah, and that is individually, I want every single person, even if they're just there to be a speaker. I always say, we don't want you just to speak and go. We want you also to receive. So you're giving to us, but we want you to receive that. So anyway, that makes me happy.
Well, and it gives me a chance to wear sparkle, so that may or may not be showing up when I am there.
I am very hopeful, and excited about that. So
So, if there's somebody listening to us today and they're thinking, well, I don't know anybody there, or maybe I'm not senior enough or good enough or whatever to attend, what would you say to that woman today?
you absolutely belong in the room. We just kind of covered that,
Mhm.
but the big thing is everybody needs personal development, investing in themselves, and we we are surrounded by a room full of people who are there to empower each other. Like
Mhm.
that is the energy that you step in. It's a safe place to do that, right? So if you're stepping into that, either new or seasoned, right? Like that you have, like you said, whether they're not um, senior enough to be in this place, right? Every single step in your career, you need to be investing in yourself. And this allows a safe place for that. I mean, every piece of the conference is meant to welcome you, yes, to challenge you a little bit, to encourage you to step into that best self that you are, that next step for you, but surrounded by a beautiful, empowering community.
I think you not only take away that maybe technical or tips for your leadership, but it's the energy I walk away with. Like sometimes you may walk in drained because it's been a tough season for you, and it gives you that energy to take that next step for yourself.
Yeah, and I think about it because it's the day after WEFTech, which is a huge water wastewater show for us. It's a big conference for a lot of people that show up for that,
Yep.
and you can do it because the energy is completely different. It's not draining, it's uplifting. It's renewing whatever it is. So like if that's your off day, you could go back to work the next day because you've
Yeah.
been relax. I don't encourage that. Take another day
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Take
yourself.
another
But
day.
that's why it's
Yeah.
planned where in the week it is.
Yeah, I will
And
tell you for the listeners, if you're able to continue to get engaged, it feels like family to me at this point. Like I walk in, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you. And it's literally like going to a family reunion.
Yes, and but don't feel discouraged about that either if you're the
Yeah,
first one
true.
there.
True.
And we
Good
have
point.
had that, which is why we have our first timers meeting and just getting to know your table that is there, right?
Yeah.
Straight out the gate. We want you to be engaged, and um, so don't let that
True. Good
hinder
point.
you from going either. Um, I feel like every woman that steps in this room and our allies who support women and understand the value of support, this support network for women, um, they get it and they are there to step in and to welcome you and to treat you like you belong because you do and to value see they see the value in your work that you do every single day and they also know the struggles of the
Yep.
industry and
Yes, they
so yeah,
do.
it's a very uplifting community that we've built together. Thank you for your
Yeah,
support,
it is.
everybody. Yeah, it's not just me.
Well,
I do have that energy, but
she
um,
does.
I'm attracting some amazing women and men that support us. So it's great.
Yeah, I love my allies. I love it when the men walk in the room. I'm like, oh, I want to go talk to them.
Yes. Tell me who raised you and tell me how your career led you to
Yeah.
support
And
women.
tell
I
me
need
how we
more of that.
multiply you. Like, that's
Yes.
what I'm wanting to know, right? Well, I'm going to ask you, I always like to end with advice on this podcast. So, when you look at the next generation of women entering manufacturing, engineering, skilled trades, what gives you the most hope?
Oh, well, I've met some of them and I just think that they are so creative. They're builders. They're fast too, you know? And so they have an idea, they're pulling people together and they're doing it. And so I'm encouraged. You say, let me give advice to them. Hey, they are encouraging me and driving that passion within me just by being around them. So I guess I would like them to get more involved with empowering women in industry for sure, so
Mhm.
that we can experience that. But also, you know, I know they need mentorship. I know that they need somebody to support, fund some of the things that they're creating. And so that community as a whole, look for ways that we can support these up and comers. I mean, they are
Yep.
amazing. I'm thinking of people you've had on the podcast right now that are just amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, they're creators and it's beautiful. So keep creating. That's my advice. And share it and tag me so I see it. Those kind of things I would
Yep.
absolutely love.
Yeah, I've learned my last role that I had a lot of younger talent, and I love how they challenge systems that we've just come to accept that that's just the way it is. And I think we've swam in that water so long that we can't see it, and they help me see it differently. That's my favorite thing about that generation.
Yeah. Oh, we can't do it that way. Well, let me figure out a different way that we can
Yep,
get this
we can
done.
do it differently. This is what it could look like, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
hmm and
Yeah,
that
that
energy is what we need for innovation. I mean, and
correct.
that's what we have to have. We're solving some of the biggest challenges right now, and we need all these generations working together so that we can accomplish those goals. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's been wonderful, Shannon. I
Yeah,
just
how do people sign up as we close today? How do people sign up? How can they come join us?
Yes, absolutely. So, empowering women in industry, there's an events page, it's listed there. You can always, you know, ping one of us on a social channel as
Yep.
well to send you the link. But it is July the 9th, Greenville, South Carolina. It's at the Smokehouse in Judson Mill. So, if you've heard of Judson Mill, it's a beautiful facility. So, super excited to just connect with people there and get to know them. They're super helpful getting all this created. And yeah, so just it's easy. Just go to the website. You can buy a ticket right there. Invite some friends. You can have a table. It's a little.
Yep.
There's a discount if you buy a table. So go ahead and invite your your besties, right? Your
Yeah,
besties.
and I
Bring
would
them.
say if you're new and you want to come by yourself, just ping me and I will be your conference bestie while you're there. If you're by yourself and you're a little concerned about being by yourself, I'm telling you now, you're not by yourself. Ping me. We will find a way to meet at the conference and I will be your conference bestie.
Shannon, I want to add one more thing. I
Yeah.
always bring my daughters to conference, and my the OG Carly.
Yeah. The original daughter. Yep.
Yeah, she is she came alive. She was had stage fright and we put her on the in the fashion show and different
Oh, I
things.
didn't know she had stage fright. You didn't ever guess that at all.
She did. She did, and she does not have it at Empowering Women. And that to me is just a testament of what community can do for you. But if you are on the fence and you have your daughter or your son with you, I believe in Tuscaloosa we had a baby in the stroller for one of our speakers, right? Um, you know, it's use your own judgment whether you can actually be there and take in what you need, but don't let it be a stumbling block for you either. Especially your older daughters, they will get something out of it, and they will go
Yeah,
and
I
they will
would
be
love to see
inspired.
young generation there because they may not understand what's being talked about, but they're gonna absorb it and they're gonna remember it when they're gonna come back to it in a few years.
I have to tell you one more thing, Shannon.
Yep.
We were at McDonald's. Yes, we were. We walked up, and my new daughter, she says, "Hey, whisper." She's whispering in my ear. "Hey, tell her you're an empowering woman." And I said, "We're all empowering women." She wanted you to know to the worker that was there. And it was just these little things. You don't think that they're paying attention, but they are. And so
They are paying attention.
encourage y'all, share it with everybody. Share it with everybody because you are worthy, you are a light, and I can't wait to help y'all shine and let the world see you. So
Yep, we're gonna
excited.
help you shine. Come join us in Greenville, July 9th. Well, Charlie, this has been so much fun. I haven't seen Charlie in a while, so it's like getting to talk to a bestie for a little bit. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Oh, I loved it, Shannon. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you soon. As we wrap up today's conversation, one message from Charlie, it really stayed with me. She said, "You absolutely belong in the room." So whether you're early in your career, a seasoned leader, or somewhere in between, growth happens when we invest in ourselves, when we intentionally connect with others, and when we step into those opportunities that challenge and inspire us. So if you've been thinking about joining us at the Empowering Women Carolinas Conference, consider this your sign. It's your formal invitation. We'd love to see you there. Until next time, keep leading with courage, keep lifting others up, and as always, lead human, ignite your fire within.